Hello, and welcome to Commander Snake. My name's Snake. Today we'll be going through my personal commander collection. First on the list is Prosh, Skyraider of Kerr. This guy has an aristocrat's theme to him, and he can easily one-shot somebody with his kobolds that he makes and Berserk by sacrificing them. Next up is Marin of Clan Niltoth. This is all about getting big fatties in the graveyard by a mill, by a dredge, and bringing them out with reanimate dead, and then have Grave Pact and Dictate of Ouroboros. So when I sacrifice creatures, which happens a lot, you'll also have to sacrifice creatures. Next one is Gave, Guru of Spores. This guy is a combo crazy machine. Just an Ashnod's Altar, and he pretty much goes infinite. This deck looks to go make as many saprolings as possible, and then use those saprolings for benefit, make other saprolings even bigger, make Gave even bigger, to try to go wide and pretty tall too. Next up is Uzuri, Renegade Leader. This is an Elf Ball tribal deck. It looks to get as many mana dorks as on the field, so you can use effects like Uzuri's ability to just freaking overrun the entire table. It also rolls over to a board wipe pretty easy though. Next up is Lord Windgrace. Lord Windgrace is my landfall deck. It uses Omnath Focus of Rage to make the 5/5 elements when you play a land, and then use Crucible of Worlds to recur lands like excuse me, to recur lands like Strip Mine, Wasteland. Then he uses Dark Depths and Thespian Stage for a 2020 Merit Liege. It's pretty fun. I love that deck. This is my Super Friends deck. Has all my favorite Super Friends, aka Planeswalkers. Then it uses Doubling Season, Vorinclex, and Chainbell. And yeah, you know, it's a bit of a glass cannon. It can have a lot of walkers doing their thing, or it can have walkers that don't do anything, or just no walkers because people love to kill the planeswalkers. Next up, we have Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. This deck is a 1/1 counter theme deck at heart, so it's trying to go as tall as possible, make Atraxa have the 1/1 counters with various effects, and it distracts the table by using Helix Pinnacle and Darksteel Reactor to try to make them try to kill that before it goes off, instead of my creatures that I'm trying to build up. Next up is Tazagur, the Golden Fang. This guy is my control deck. It's going to try to win with infinite mana through, what is that? Peregrine Drake, and then flickering them with Deadeye Navigator, and continue to make infinite mana and get my whole deck in my hand. And then it uses Season Pass loops, which I'll discuss in a different video. Next up is Amonkhet, the Stormlord. This guy is all about getting artifact creatures into your graveyard, like Mirror Retriever and Junk Diver, and trying to loop those guys back and forth into the field, into the graveyard, and making the 2/2 Black Necrons as many times as you can, and just trying to swarm the field. This is Yidris, Maelstrom Welder. This is not Cascade. This is not Storm. This is Wills with Ramp. Looking to use will effects, and then have Megrim out and Underworld Dreams to do damage to the table. And green is for the ramp to get there quicker. Next up is a partner deck. Is Tana and Rabos. It's about getting the 1/1 counters through 1/1 tokens through Tana, the Bloodsower, and other effects like that. Then using Ramos and other anthems to pump them up as much as you can and do as much damage as you can so you can get the Sapphirelinks and anthem effects like Ramos and Chromos Vengeance. Chromos Will. Sorry. Next up, we have the Reaper King. This is my everything tribal deck. It has the shapeshifters, the changelings, pardon, that are every creature type, and then uses Yuriko Tiger Shadow, uses Ala Palani, because there also will be eggs, there also will be ninjas, and then getting their effects as well. Next up, we have Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. This is one of my newer decks, and so far it's doing work. This is a stacks deck. It tries to tap down your opponent's creatures so you can get through with Tana, with Thalia and the Gitrog Monster for commander damage, and it also has a landfall slip thing, of course. Next up is Magda, Brazen Outlaw. This is a dwarf tribal deck that tries to tap the elves down without attacking because they do tend to be pretty small. And using the treasures you'll generate from tapping down the dwarfs to go fetch out Dragon Tyrant or Darksteel Colossus as little as turn like 3. All right. That's where we'll stop this video, and I'll upload the next one very shortly. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. It's Commander Snake.